Welcome back, viewers, to part 2. With me here is my guest, my sister from Ireland. Last time we were talking about her fashion design, about fashion in Africa and how it all started. So many things we talked about. Please don't watch this one if you haven't watched part 1. So welcome back, please, Susan. Tell us a bit about, tell us more about what we were discussing about.
Yes, it is so delighted to join you again and to have this conversation. It's always an opportunity to exploit what it means to be Africans, what fashion means to us, what culture means to us, and what it means, friendship and collaboration, what this means to us. And that's one of the beauty of what we are doing together, is about working together as women, powerful women, strong leaders within our community, and projecting ourselves to the world. And hopefully that we can inspire people out there. We can inspire young women, older women into fashion, using their creativities to change the world, using their voice to make an impact, being a leader, what it is and what is the importance of your leadership role within our community here in the diaspora that we are living now, and back home in Africa where we all came from. It is important that we can reflect, what we've learned and how we utilize this within our community.
Absolutely.
So again, my name is Susuana Olatunji Komolafe. It's a delight to be with you, Lydia, to have this moment and to share with you again.
Thank you very much. So today we're actually going to talk mainly about African fashion, but specifically Nigerian fashion. Now, where I live in Aberdeen, there is quite a great number of Nigerian community. And when on Sundays before the pandemic, everyone, because I'm a teacher too, when I went to school, everyone kept telling me, your people, they wear such nice clothes. We like all those big hats you wear, In Kenya, we don't have those hats, especially. I forget the name.
Yeah, I'll tell you more about it, yeah.
Can you tell us about it, please?
So, look, whenever you see us as Nigerians, now, like I said, African continent itself, we have 54 countries, which is the members of the African Union. So that is what many people know. But Africa continent itself consists of 58 countries, and in total we have 3 islands. So
of course, yes.
So if we actually want to say the countries that made up the continent of Africa, which is the second largest in the world today, we have 61. But many people, we talk about the 54, that is the member of the African Union. The way we have the European Union, we have more European countries, but mainly they talk about the ones that are members of the African Union. And that is part of what we see as segregation. So Nigeria, it seems to be the largest of the continent, countries within the continent of Africa. And Nigerian in itself, we have up to 365 dialects.
Wow.
Languages that is spoken in the country of Nigeria itself.
Wow.
Yeah, we have 3 major languages. So those 3 major languages is the Yoruba, the Igbo, and the Hausas.
Yes.
But apart from those 3 major ones that we know, we have nearly 360-something 5 dialects that is spoken within the country itself.
Wow.
So that's one. And English is our official language, because many people don't realize that. So when you come into the diaspora country and you're speaking in English and people are saying, oh, how did you know how to speak in English?
Yes. I know that.
Yeah, and you're trying to say to them, oh, that is our official language. We were actually one way or the other colonized by the English, and they left us with English.
That's right.
So we end up speaking it. So that's just so beautiful. So we are one of the English-speaking countries in the continent of Africa. We have the French-speaking countries. We have the Portuguese kind of speaking countries as well. Those people colonized through the Dutch and so on. And that's just it. It's a beautiful continent in itself. So let's go back to the country which we're talking about today, which is Nigeria, and we're going to be talking about African fabrics. So when we say African fabric, we will talk about the fabric that is specific to us as Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, we have the three major languages. We have the Yoruba, which we have our own type of clothing, which is totally different from the Igbo woman, and it's totally different from the Hausas. Oh. Yes. Wow. So if you see somebody from the western part, which is the Yoruba part of the country, we have our own kind of dress that we wear. So we know that this is a Yoruba, but when you see us dressed that, you know this is somebody, this is a Yoruba woman, or this is a Yoruba man. When you see the Igbos dressed, you know this is Igbo women, and you know this is Igbo women. The way they dress, even with the way we wear our Western clothing, is different. When I'm putting on a Western clothes as a Yoruba person, it's different from the way an Igbo woman will wear a Western clothing. It's so different. And when you see an Hausa person, they have their own clothing, which is quite different. Their clothing is a little bit similar in the way the dress is similar to that of the Indians.
Oh wow!
They use more lighter materials in their dressing, and I think if you look at the way our fashion revolution has changed, it has so much been influenced by so many things. One, fashion has been influenced by the Western culture. It has influenced our fashion. Our fashion and our fabric has been so much influenced by our religion. So whether you're a Muslim or you're Christian, it's actually reflecting the way we dress and the way we portray ourselves, even when we are wearing our own fabrics.
Right.
Now, in terms of our original fabric, the real original fabrics that is our fabric, apart from the one that we've adopted to become our own fabric, that was actually created for our own culture, our own weather, and has become something we embrace, and people see it as our fabric and as part of our culture, but it's not actually part of the fabrics that was originally made from our own culture. So it's called woven, W-O-V-E-N, woven.
Yes.
So we normally wove them, they are thick materials. They're made from cotton as well, but the cottons are hand woven. They are all hand woven. So they are woven in the sense that the cottons are made and they are woven and stick together. When you see the way things are being woven together, so they are being woven, and they are used, raw cottons are used to make them. So the cottons are not processed. Now, most of the cottons today that are used by the Western world are processed cottons. Yes. So ours are raw cottons that are used. So now we've started processing our cottons as well, and using it to make the same kind of, so it's more lighter than it used to be, because if it is too light, it takes away the beauty of what our original material looks like, and it doesn't reflect us anymore. It becomes more Western. So the fact that we are trying to modernize it now and to make it more lighter, easily to wear, because originally the way it was hand woven and the way the cottons were used, it's very thick. So when you make one clothing for somebody, they might have just one or two, and that is all they have. They don't wash it it's not washing. Instead of you washing it, you spread it and you use wood to take away all, it's like you are beating it or whatever to take away to keep it clean.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Do they look like sacks? Because
they look much like sacks. They are very strong.
Right.
So they're woven, but they as at the time, the initial time, they have their original, they retain their original colors, which sometimes is brownish and reddish.
Right.
This reddish is the form of like the clothes you are wearing. Actually, it takes that kind of color, a deeper purple, reddish deeper purple, just like what you're wearing. And those are the colors. So then we have limited colors that we used. So the women, they make out of those woven, and the women within the western part of Nigeria will always put it on like a wrapper. So they wrap it up to their breast, and then they made a beautiful hat, which we call head tie. So the head tie are made with their hands. So they use it to cover the head and dress. And the women have their head tie and they have their wrapper, while the men will make their own into shokoto. Shokoto as in, you know, the way we have the trousers, we call it shokoto in my language. So they made it into that, and then the men wear, and then they made a freestyle. They always wear the freestyle, the men, they wear it on top of their own agbada.
The large.
Yeah, so that is the way we initially, that is our original clothing. And the Igbos have the same, something similar to that, but quite different in the texture. It's quite different in the texture, but in their own culture, the way they wear it in the olden days is that the women wear it like a skirt. Like a short skirt. So it just covers their private, and then they wrap it around their breasts and tie it at the back, just cover their breasts, and they always leave their tummy out.
Are these the Igbos?
These are the Igbos.
Right.
So that's the way the ladies dress, and the men, they just cover their private alone. So they use it to cover their private. They make it into somehow to cover up their private, and that's it. And that's the way it initially, that's
so like a short skirt.
A short skirt, yeah. But for the men, it goes round and back to cover up their, you know, their private parts itself.
Their modesty,
so that is the way it comes. So to cover up their modesty, that's the best way I should say. So that's the way the Igbos dress. And then the Hausas, they have a different type of woven, and they decorate it in different way. They make it into different type of style. I wish that we could be able to show some of those traditional kind of fabric that is used, that that defies whether you're Hausas, Igbos, and Yorubas. So those
you have them. If you have them, you can share them here.
Yes, that could be something we could do some other time, because it would be difficult. I should have prepared for that to be able to show it to you for them to see it. But for now, you know, this is something we can put together, and you know, we can showcase it as well. So that is the way. That is our original kind of fabric. It's called woven. For people that might want to go and just search for it and get to see what is the original kind of material that is used. Now, these days, a lot of people knows us to use Ankara. So Ankara now is our modern day kind of fabric that is associated to us as African, and is known to be that this is African fabric. But the Ankara itself was not originally actually her own fabric. It was made in Indonesia. So they actually make the Ankara specifically for us because of they make it there, they don't use it. But because of our weather, and the way we dress, the way we dress, they actually made it for our market, and they sold it to us, and it's just fitting into our own way of wearing dresses. And we adopted it. Then it becomes our own culture. It becomes a part of our own fabric. We started using it, and that is how it becomes like as if it is now today seen as African fabrics. And we have different type of Ankara. There's the different one that is worn by the Igbo woman. So the one that is worn by the Yorubas is totally different from the Igbo ones.
Wow.
So people from the outside might not know the difference. But when we see ourselves, we know that this is specifically Igbos and Ankaras. This is the one that they use. You know, when you go into the market, when you're picking up, you know it. So if I want it, somebody, the first thing they will think is that, oh, are you Igbos? Because that they wear those kind of Ankara. It's made differently. The colors are quite different. The way it is made, the pattern made it different. Especially the pattern signifies the differences in the way it looks like. And the Ankara itself is mainly used within the Western and the Igbo, the Eastern part. The Eastern part is the Igbo people in Nigeria. So we use the Ankara mainly. And the houses, they use what is called Guinea brocade. They use a different type. So we all use the Guinea, but it's more common among the houses.
Right.
When you see them.
What's the difference?
Now, the Ankara comes in pattern. You know, it has this pattern, this colorful kind of pattern, artistic way it is being done, whereby the Guinea is always plain. It's plain, even though there's pattern in between. The pattern is not bogus the way the Ankara patterns are being seen and pleated as seen. So, and then the Guinea is the texture of the fabric is totally different from Ankara. Totally different from it. So those are the things that we wear more than now. We also use what is called lace. Lace comes from the Austria, I think Austria and Switzerland. So that is where lace comes from. They use lace mainly for their curtains. They use it for curtains. They use it for decorating the houses. We use them mainly for our dresses, for wearing, for sewing. We sew them into our Iho and Buba. Like if you see a Yoruba woman, we mainly wear Buba and Iho. That's what we call it. And our men wear Hagbada and Shokoto. So Agbada, you see the long kind of things that they wear, the way the men sew it, and they wear their Shokoto. The Igbos, they normally, we call them wrapper. They use wrapper. They wear 2 wrappers. So for a Yoruba woman, you will wear 1 wrapper. But the Igbos, they use 2 wrappers. And the way they use buba, they use blouses. They use just top.
Top and skirt.
Yeah, so they use just a top blouse, but they use 2 wrappers. So they use 2 wrappers just like that of the Kenyas and that of the, you know, the way the Kenyas, if you're married, you wear 2 wrappers. If you're single, you wear 1 wrapper. That is, when you see an Igbo woman, but they use 2 wrappers. So, but we use just 1 wrapper. So whereas the Muslim part, which is the Hausa part, which is the northern, not all of them are Muslim, but the northern part of Nigeria,
right?
They mainly just sew their dresses freestyles. The women sew, and what influenced that is the religion.
Right.
Now, in the olden days for them as well, they just wear like a skirt kind of a type of, use their fabric to sew like a skirt for the women, just to cover your dignity and, you know, the upper part of your body.
Wait.
Yeah.
But
so
they are Muslims. I thought they're supposed to wear something long all over.
No, the long one started because of the religion. It's influenced by the religion.
Right.
But before then, that is the way they dressed as well. They just dressed like wear something just to cover their dignity and the upper part, and the men does the same thing. So we're all similar, but like I told you, that our culture and our fashion has also been influenced by our religion and by the people that colonize us.
Yes,
so those 2 things has influenced the way our fashion revolution has changed. So for them now, they mostly wear long dresses. You know, they use their fabric, which is the guinea, to sew something long. And I think it comes from the religion, because they mostly practice Muslims. They are mostly Muslims.
Right.
So, and the free things allow, it's because of the prayer time. So that when they pray, you know, there's something associated with the fact that they need to be free or something like that. I can go into that religion part of it. So, but that does really reflect.
It does make sense.
Yeah, so that reflects in the way they make their clothing, both the men and the women. So, so those are the kinds. So those are the. So we're using. I said guinea is one of our fabrics that we use now. We all wear it, but it's more one in a particular region than the other. But everybody wears it. We have lace. Lace is one mainly within by the Western community, and the Eastern communities also wear it, but it's more in the West part of Nigeria than the Eastern.
Right.
And the Northern part, they don't much wear it. Now we have the Southern, the Middle Belt, the South and the Middle Belt. They embrace everything. They pick a little out of everything. And they do it because of the fact that they are within the middle, their culture. Some of them, if they are closer. So let's say, for example, in Ireland today, the where I live is close to the northern part. So you will see the people there. They are living life of both. They are like the northern and they are like the southern. You know, that kind of a way.
Yes.
So the people within the middle belt, they are influenced by everything. So they pick out of everything, and that's what makes their own you know, the way they are fashioned and what they wear. So if today you're talking about what are the fabrics that is used in the country, in Nigeria as a country, you talk about the wovens, which we still wear today. We use it to make all our wedding dresses. If you're getting married, if you're having burial ceremony, those are the top dresses in our clothing.
Those orange ones.
Yes. So we use it mainly in our, you know, when you see somebody getting married, you know, in Nigeria today, you will always have your traditional wedding. So when you start seeing our traditional wedding, we will definitely wear the wovens. We use the wovens for how, you know, those are the things you will see the wife, the bride, and the groom we put on their clothing. So we use the woven. We still use the lace. The lace will be used for the parties, and so we use a lot of the lace. We use the Ankara. Ankara is something that we use for our normal daily wearing, either for going out, for visiting friends, doing small parties, or just wear as your normal dress every single day. The Ankara is what is used. You won't see us wearing lace every single day. We have some lace that we can use that way. So we call them small laces that we can wear. But people mainly use the Ankara all the time, you know, because it's easy to wear, because of the texture, because of the texture compared to everything, just so simple to, you know, to put on. We use guinea. We use guinea a lot as well. We use guinea. We use what else, you know? Yes, we use the guinea, we use the lace, we use the Ankara, we use the woven. So those are the kind of cultural, traditional fabric that we use in making up what it means to our fashion in Nigeria, our traditional wears, what it is to be a Nigerian woman. Now, the Ankara is a universal clothing within the western part of Africa. Western part of Africa, so like Ghana, all those western part of Africa, they use mainly Ankara. But if you see the northern part of Africa, like the south, like Somalia, all those places, they use the guinea. And what influenced that, like I said again, is religion, because there are more Muslim within those parts of the part of Africa. So they use the guinea. The guinea is more, even though it's an African fabric now, but it's more representation of an Arabic Muslim kind of, so they use that. So And yeah, they use that. So if you see in Ghana, they use a different type of Ankara, which is called kente.
Yes.
Now, if you see the kente that is made from Ankara, so now even in Ghana, you know the way they have the kente, the one that is made of Ankara, they use the pattern to make the Ankara, but they have the real kente that is made from woven.
Right.
So they have different type of kente. They have the one that is made from woven, that is real their traditional type of woven.
Right.
And then they have the one that you will see that is used, the print is, because the kente itself is a woven type of, but these days, that pattern has been used to make Ankara, because Ankara is more lighter than the woven. So you see them wearing the Ankara, and then you see them wearing the woven. The woven is one when they really do their traditional, like weddings, or they're doing festivals, they're doing kinship, things like that. Right. They wear the real woven that is made into kente. They call it kente. So they want those ones. And they use it. And then they have the printed one, which is the Ankara as well, that they also use. So if you see us, like even in the Western world, just like you were saying, you will never see somebody from the Western part of Africa, especially Nigerians, I'll say, but mostly people from the Western part of Africa, mostly from the Western, but Nigeria stand out more. We always wear our own fabrics, even in the Western world. When we go to church, you see us when we're going to church, because church is a place whereby we have an opportunity to celebrate the goodness of God. God has blessed us so much. You want to go, we have this kind of belief within us that when you're going into the presence of God, you have to put on the best of what God has given to you. You have to look good to go. You have to look clean. Because you're going there to celebrate His goodness in your life. You don't walk into God's presence looking tired or dirty or unclean. And so, you know, the way naturally we associate cleanliness to the way you look, but I know that as a Christian, cleanliness is the cleanness of the heart. But it's what we want to be clean within our heart and physically in our appearance as well. So it's a celebration of God's love in our life. So we go there and celebrate and dance. And so you see us on the days that we're going to church, we put on our traditional dresses, we put on our head tie, because women mostly covers their head with their head ties, and the men, we have their cap, you know, and we dress like that, and we go into, so that is why, you know, you see us dressed like that. In the diaspora, we're always, you know, looking our best. We always showcase our fabric all the time. We just do that. And yes, and you know, you see that. And if you see that, if you go back to the south of Africa, like if it's somebody from the South Africa, they mainly don't wear, because you see the way their own fashion evolution has changed. Now, they were also using the animal skin to make dresses. They use the animal skin to make their dress, to make something like skirts to cover up their dignity. The men as well. So those are the things they use. They use the goat's animal's skin to make things like staff of honor. Like we have the same kind of thing that we use, which we call oxtail, which the kings and the chiefs, they use as a sign of authority.
And the flowers.
So they do the same thing as well. So, but if you see that when their own fashion evolution was, you know, progressing, they embraced more of the Western clothing. So if you see somebody from South Africa or Zimbabwe or Botswana, they won't be dressing the way you see somebody from Nigeria dressing, because the way our own fashion evolution, you know, was quite different from the way their own was progressing. So they progressed from using that animal skin straight just into wearing a Western clothing. We progressed from that to so many other things, and that is why we can still retain those things. And what most of them are doing within the southern kind of southern part of Africa today is that they use that kind of artistic to use it to on fabrics now, like cottons that we're saying, wool type of cotton, and they create something that says this is South Africa. So this is, so yeah.
That's
so those.
Yes. Wow, amazing. You have actually touched so many parts. I don't know where to ask a question from because they are all amazing. So tell us, with the heads, the headwear, do you have different types of headwear, or is it just the same all over Nigeria?
Oh, we have so many materials. So for example, the lace that we wear, we use it to make our head tie.
Yes.
The Ankara that you wear, you use the Ankara to make your head tie. The woven that you wear, you use it to make the head tie. And then we have some materials, other materials that has been used to make into head tie, where we put on our laces, when we put on our lace. So there's so many kind of materials that we use to make the head tie, and this, for example, this is a scarf. You can see this is a beautiful scarf.
Yes. Yes.
So this scarf, I can use it to make an hair tie as an African woman, Muslim, and they want, like, for example, in the Western world, especially I'll talk about the Irish women, this is how they want their scarf at the time. They want it like that.
Yes.
They tie it.
Yes.
And when you see them in their Catholic churches and in the women in the markets, they do their scarves like this.
Yes.
So, and they use a lot of scarf then. But these days, you see most Western women, they don't use much of the scarf.
Yes.
They progress, so they leave their hair open.
Yes.
They leave it open.
Can you tie for us?
They leave it open. That is what fashion, that is the fashion revolution is changing.
Yes.
So, and, changing from the Stone Age, we call it modern days, But like I said, every human race has their own Stone Age. It just changes. It changes based on how the changes come to your own empowerment.
That's true.
This revolution is traveling all around the world. And when it comes to you, just like the way the sun goes, that is why in some countries we have day, while in some places we have night. So it takes fashion like that. Some places they're still at night. Some of us, we have gone into daytime.
Exactly.
And that is the changes you see in fashion. So for us, so we can turn this into different type of head tie. I can put it on like that. I can make it into style. That is why we say that.
But that's Kenyan styles you are showing us. We want to see.
That is why we say that African women, we are fashionable people. I can turn this into different style. Right. We just don't make one style. So that's one. And we can use all those fabric, the Ankara, the lace, we can use it to make different type of styles like this. So I can do something else with that.
Wow.
So I can
wow. Look at that. That's amazing. I didn't know how to do that. So you have to tie at the back first.
I didn't tie this at the back. I just roll it at the back. So
okay. Wow. Viewers, I'm sure you are loving that.
So that scarf, I can leave it just to make some style. I can tuck it in. I can make it into different type of things. I can roll that up if I want people to see a bit of my hair, and just like that. So we make our hair ties into different type of things just to look differently, to look beautiful. So that's why when you see us on Sundays in the churches, we just dress exorbitantly, if that's what is correct, just flamboyantly with beautiful colors. We are made of colors. We embrace colors. Our skin loves colors. It shines through. So can you see how beautiful
you look elegant always, but again with the scarf, more elegant.
So
absolutely.
So that is how we change and we evolve as African women in terms of our fashion, in terms of the way we use our fabrics, in terms of the way we use our different type of material that we have within our own culture, within our own territory, within our own countries and nations, within the continent of Africa itself. But today, being a Nigerian, I hope people will fall in love with us.
Always. So if we want to buy these materials, the viewers obviously might want to know, can you buy the materials in Europe?
Yes, you can. If you live locally, it depends on where you live. Either you live in UK, you live in Ireland, wherever you live now, you can go to any of those African shops. And even if some of them sells food, but there's other ones that sell clothing. And if you go to London now, if you go to Deptford in London, you find Ankara everywhere, you find lace everywhere, you find Guinea everywhere. Is it Deptford? And I know they have it in Liverpool. In London, when you go to Liverpool in London, you see all African
Liverpool streets.
Is it Liverpool streets? Yeah.
Yes, I've been there. Oh my gosh, it's like being in Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly. So you find all those fabrics there. You can get them, and you can get them online. So what you can do is that you can also go online and type in African fabrics. You can get around Ankara from Hollandis. Holland, they sell all the Ankaras. If you put Ankara Hollandis online in your Google, it will bring it up. And you can purchase it from there. You can also go on our website. I'll give you my website. You can give it to them.
Yes, of course.
Yes, people can go onto our website and request if they want something, and we can get it for them. So whatever you want, just request for it. You fill out our request page on our contact page and tell us what you are really looking for. When you say it, we get it for you. We call you, we make contact with you and have this kind of consultation with you. And whatever you need, we can get it for you.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And you post to any country?
We post to any country. So, so the postage, the country determine the cost, but we post to any country. We will get you whatever you want, whatever kind of fabric you want, whatever kind of thing you're looking for, either fabric, head tie, whatever it is that you want. If you're looking for things to decorate your houses, in terms of, we use Ankara these days to make table mats. We use it to make cooking clothing when you're cooking in the kitchen. We use it to make hangers for toilet rolls. We use it for your bed sheets, so your bed sprouts. So if you're looking for your clothing for your duvet and your pillowcases, you want to use Ankara. And there's something now which I didn't actually mention is Headwear tie and dye. So tie and dye is significant in Africa, and it's more significant in the western part of Africa. The Yoruba people, they do a lot of tie and dye. So we call it Headwear, we call it batik. It comes in different forms. So, like for example, if you come into my house now, you see my curtains. I use the batik. I use Headwear, the tie and dye as my curtains. I use it on my dining tables. So as I'm talking to you now, right on my dining table now, I have the adire there as the clothing to cover, and I use it as my table mat. So if you need any of those things, just contact us. We can create it to your taste, and you can turn your house into, because for me, I wanted people to come into my house and see a taste of Africa when they step into my house.
Absolutely.
So I allow that with the way I decorate my house. When you come in, you know that this is an African woman house you are.
Wow, amazing. I'm actually going to look at the website. Please give it to us.
I'll send it to you and you can give it to them.
Yes, yes, I need to buy, because obviously my house, as you can see, there is not much African going on.
You need to start putting it. You can use it as your pillows on your chairs. You know the way you have your chairs and you have some pillows there. So we can actually make a cover with those fabrics for you to cover up your chairs. Like I told you, you know, we started the project. And I'll send it to you on our Facebook page, which we call Sewing for Passion.
Right.
And we actually make some of these pillowcases using the adire fabric. We have a mixture. So we have the front part to be adire, we have the back to be a satin. So let's say the adire is yellow, we use a yellow satin at the back, because the adire comes in colorful. It comes in multicolors. They don't come in one single color. So we pick a color there that stands out. We use it as the satin for the back of the pillowcase. Yeah.
Can you tell us? Obviously, the viewers will be intrigued and want to know, what are the prices like?
Now, the prices is difficult to give. The reason it's difficult is mainly because some of your viewers may just want a pillowcase, just one or two, just to have a taste of Africa in their house, either on their couch. So they might have just one couch and they just want you to make. Now, it depends on the size of the couch, the pillow couch that you want to do. So some can be small, can be medium, can be large. So that will determine the price. And then the postage will determine the price. But with 20 euro, you can always get something.
Oh, wow. That's not bad.
With 20 euro, you can get something. As long as you want something in your house, just to show something, you can decide what you want. You know, you might just want to have the table cover for your dining table.
Absolutely.
And that will cost you roughly around 40 euro. It depends on the fabric we are using, and it depends on the postage. So the cost is between that range of cost. So all depends on what you want, and then the postage will be added onto it. So it's, let's say, as minimum as 20 euro upward. You can get something for your kitchen, for your living area, for your bedroom, something for your toilets in your house. You might just say, okay, my toilet is just what I want to do. You want to have something there. So we can put the fabric in a frames for you, and you can put the frames to decorate your toilet area, and we put the fabric in between and we frame it for you. So that will determine what kind of frame you're looking for. If you're looking for an expensive frame, or you look for something moderate, and that will determine the price. We get the fabric, we get to do it, we can cut it into a shape of Africa for you, and
wow, amazing. I'm sure I have a friend who's been asking me about these things, and definitely she's Scottish. I'm going to tell her to look at your website. Obviously she'll be watching, so I will tell her to look at your website and get to see the things. And I'm sure the viewers will love going to the website and seeing a piece of Africa. Especially Nigeria has very noble clothes. Obviously everyone knows that. So this is really great. So
like I said to you, Lydia, there, that we work to your taste. So when you go onto the website, you just have the contact place where you can fill and contact us, and we do a consultation. So from the consultation, you tell us what you specifically need. So for example, even if it's the lighting, you know, the way we have lighting in the house, we can make fabric to cover up your lighting in African fabric, and we tell you the different type of fabric. Then you can choose either you want the Ankara or you want the adire. so we can use that to use it to cover up. So the most important thing is that there's so much things that you can use to, you know, to celebrate Africa in your home, to give you an opportunity to allow you to bring African into your home. You've been hearing a lot about Africa, but most of us want to bring Africa into our home. And that is another way you can bring it into your own home.
Absolutely.
Is by putting a taste of Africa within your environment.
Absolutely. Amazing. So, if you can kindly share with us or tell us, you're going to give me the links to put with the interviews, but kindly if you can tell viewers, some people don't really read the articles, especially on the TV. So please tell us your links, how we can find you, how they can buy something or just see something, whatever.
So either you want to buy something, either you just want us to do a consultation and speak to us and say, look, I'm starting up a new house, I'm just building my house, I want to have a taste of Africa in my home, I've been thinking of this, can you get this for me? If you want that, you know, the best way you can contact us is that you can go onto our website. So you can go onto www.artcenter-highland.com. So it's www, which is 3w.artcenter, which is A for alpha, D for doll, center, which is the American spelling, CENTER. And then you have an hyphen, and then Highland, IRDLAND.com. So that is it. And when you go onto the website, you find our mobile contact, you find our email contact, and you'll find a form there when you go onto the contact that says you should fill in. So you can fill that contact form and tell us, you send us your details and we can be in touch with you. Now that we are all living in a virtual world, we can organize a Zoom meeting with you, whereby virtually you can get to see some of those things. We can talk to you. Absolutely. And you tell us what you're looking for, and then we can work to suit you and to tailor it to your own needs. You might just want something small as €5. There's some things we do whereby we create something that, you know, so let's say that has African flags or whatever countries in Africa, things like that, and you can just use it to decorate your house, you know, different type of things like that. We do. So my email is artcenter25@yahoo.ie. So the Art Center, which is the same spelling, ADCENTER25@yahoo.ie. And if you go on our website, believe me, there's so many, we have all our information there. We have 3 websites. I've just given you one. We have our fashion website, which you can go on to, which is www.afrofashiony.com as well. So I've sent all these details and you can see them. But if you really, really want to get to see me, get to know me, get to talk to me, get to work with us, get to collaborate with us, because we are always looking out for people to collaborate with, to work with. When you see Lydia, you see me. So speak to Lydia. She will always listen.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to be honest, even if they can find you on my Facebook.
Yes.
So, yes, of course. If you can't get hold of Susan, you know where to find me. So it's been wonderful talking to you. I don't want you to go because it's awesome, but we have to end here, but promise to come back and tell us more, because there's questions, believe you me, that I didn't get the chance to ask.
We will get to talk more and more. I think one of the things we would do is that we can do like a month series, whereby each week we pick up on something to talk about. And we have like a 4 series of conversation which we talk about. So that means I'm going to be one of your regular guests on this show.
Absolutely, because this is very interesting. You know, I'm African, but what you tell me is some things I've never heard, you know?
Thanks.
I was born and brought up in Africa, and all of a sudden I'm asking, okay, I didn't know that one. You know, you were saying that in Kenya they wear two
wrappers. So
yeah.
the singles, they wear one wrapper. So that is when you know she's a
I
single
had no
woman.
idea.
Yeah. And whereas the married ones, we wear two, and that is when you know that, oh, she's mad, she's spoken for.
Wow. I had no idea, because my family tends to be too religious. There's nothing known as too religious. They are religious. So they don't really, I think that they have been brainwashed to be more Western than African. Oh, my mom watches this. My parents watch this. I'm so sorry, parents. I didn't know. I didn't know. Anyway, it's been wonderful. And yes, I really think that we should talk about this more often.
Yeah. Thanks. And it's good to be on your platform. And thank you, viewers. And I hope your viewers will enjoy this.
Definitely. Viewers, who won't? Thank you anyway, viewers, for watching. And thank you, Susan. Please feel free to come back anytime if you have something new. Don't wait for me to call you. You're my sister. Just anytime, please. Okay. But I really want you to come back soon. Well, thank you so much. And bye for now. And see you again soon.
See you too.
Thank you.
Thanks.